Call today's meeting to order. Jen, will you do roll call, please?
Mike Dolson, Tom McDonald,
Here.
Jennifer Finley, here, Jim Molliker,
Here.
Carol Lakeford, here, Danielle Matt, Bing Matt, here, James Steele Jr., Martin Charlo,
Present.
Len Tutis, here, Lenise Trahan.
Well, Jen, we'll start today out as always with the prayer, and we'll go over to that corner over there. Hey, Carol, would you do the honor for us? Thank you.
Creator, today we just give thanks for the snow and the moisture on the ground, and just ask that everybody is careful and watch over them as they travel to and from work and travel across the nation to attend meetings on behalf of CSKT. We also pray for our elders and our children, and safe and strong. And a prayer for the Kayai family and all the others that we have recently lost. We just ask you to be with their families and take care of them and watch over us, watch over them. And also, we ask that you watch over all of staff. And lost my train of thought, Creed. Yeah. And call me update.
Lips, Carol. Okay, we have our first order of business be the minutes from November 12th. November 14th minutes, excuse me.
Motion to approve the November 14th minutes.
Motion by Martin to approve the November 14th tribal council minutes.
Change. I was on Zoom. I was on Zoom the afternoon, so
Okay.
I did not leave the meeting.
Add that. Len was on the Zoom in the afternoon. Any other discussion? Entertain a second. Second by Bing. All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay, we have today's agenda. And we... Okay. Len and Bing. Again. And we have Dave as a walk-in. And we have one correction we want to make to the November 12th minutes. By Carol. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Martin to approve today's agenda.
Second.
Second by Carol. All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay, Dave, come on up. Come on, Dave, speed it up. Come on. You gotta push the button. Push the button on the mic, Dave. Where the speaker. No, just where the microphone's at. There we go. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. You gonna help me out though?
Yes.
Okay.
I came in to try and get permission for a month for hunter retrieval with my either my grandson or Jaden or my son Sam. reason for a month is that they're pretty busy and my spine doesn't very great all the time. Came in, 2 years ago and got permission from you and, never did make it out, so.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. I know you've been granted this hunter assist in the past. Motion by Martin to approve the request. Second by Jimmy. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Yeah, go ahead, Len.
So Dave, so you'll have somebody retrieving the game for you? You'll be the hunter? But somebody
I'll be
will,
the shooter, yes.
okay.
Up or down or vote? Yeah. Okay, Carol?
Yeah.
Okay, we have 6-4. I'll abstain because Dave's technically my uncle.
Done then?
He's my uncle.
Yeah, the forms are all right here. It's Dr. Slips. We have it all.
Oh.
Good luck, Dave.
All right, thank you.
My grandma.
Okay, let's take care of Carol's item real quick.
Should I just re-motion on it?
I think so. Abby, we, in the minutes for the November 12th council, and we were approving the requests that Joe Durgalo came in with. And it was a 4-part request, I think. But I think the minutes only reflect the approval to purchase or work on purchasing the Logan Health Center facility in Polson, but it was also some staffing, budgetary things, and a few other things. So go ahead, Carol.
Mr. Chairman, the motion actually had the Flathead in.
The Flathead in?
Yeah,
Okay.
but not the Logan.
But it was
Yeah.
missing the Logan. Okay.
Yeah, so we need to include the Logan, but there was 3, I think there were 3 or 4.
There was a budget increase
Okay. Logan, Flathead in.
for purchase of Logan, Flathead, and staffing increase, operational increases, I
I
think.
believe so.
You recall that, Jen? No? Okay. Do you recall it, Abby?
I do recall him talking about it, and the actual action was to approve all of those requests.
Yes.
I guess I thought that the purchase for the facility would require a resolution and a specific action. So I guess that's my mistake.
Did he have you had a resolution? No?
Yeah, please.
Joe didn't have a resolution in that? Okay. Well, I guess maybe we'll have to bring it back with the resolution. I'll get Joe back in today.
But doesn't Lands develop those resolutions for purchase of property?
You would hope they would have a template for it.
Oh, okay. They approved all 3, but 2 require resolution as a purchasing property.
Okay, well, let's just, we'll hold off and have Joe come back in, the resolutions. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go ahead and move to, Len.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. So I had tribal member Reuben Burke reach out to me. Reuben applied for services through the ARPA program, was denied because the house has not yet been transferred over to his name. He did the family did address the probate just recently. The court has awarded the home to him. This is the one in Dayton. And so ARPA program just notified him and said they were unable to provide services to him because the name of the home, it's still not in his name yet. So I informed him I would address this with council and would like to, I'm not sure if we need a waiver, but just to have, DHRD ARPA program provide the service to him that he has requested. And that is, I think he just needs his pipes fixed. So,
We get an update from,
I know we dealt with this on a couple other tribal members that had the same issue. But in this case, I mean, this home, this probate has been going on for years and just recently awarded to Ruben. So it's going to take a while before the process starts to actually put the deed in his name. But we all know, everybody knows in the community that that home belongs to him. So if we can just move forward with having the ARPA program continue with our just provide the service to him.
do we know what the bid is? Do we know what the amount is? Do we know anything specifically?
No, not at all.
I wouldn't feel
It's
comfortable
just a-
going ahead with a blanket approval of something that we don't know if is even fixable, so. We'll have someone from DHRD come in as soon as they can.
Okay, if we can address that today, that would be great. Okay, thank you.
Thing?
Okay, I've got a couple things to bring up here, Chair. First of all, I had Jimmy Adams yesterday contact me and was asking if we could give him approval to stay at the South Fork Gate until the end of the year. And he said the reason he wants to do that is because there's no snow up there, and he said that people are still able to get up into the South Fork. And he said with hunting season going on, him come out of there, he said, I don't think that, he said that he thinks that there'll be non-members going in there when he's not there. But he talked with Rich Jansen about it, and Rich thought it was a good idea, but I guess Dan was kind of holding up on the deal, Dan McClure. So anyway, because I talked to me about it yesterday and see if that council will give him approval with Rich to go ahead and let him stay up there until the end of the year anyway. He said next year he was going to ask him if he can stay there all year next year. If he can start in and stay there all year next year. So of that, because he said that snowmobilers go in there, he said, and non-members go in there with snowmobiles. He said, and that they're up there snowmobiling and going through the back there in the back up by Bulls Meadows through there and going off the reservation through there. So he said that's what they've been doing. So he said that he'd like to stay there just to keep them out of there.
Tony, do you have any information on that? About request from Jim Adams to stay up at the gate in the South Fork?
Don't work.
I'm just checking on it right now. I know we extended him already. He's not there longer than we've usually had him, right? And he's requesting till first of the year. Okay, I'll check on that. I know Rich is out with the death in the family this week. But I'll check with Whisper and Chauncey on or Dan to see if there's any update on that, or if they've heard that request, and if we have funding to do that. I'm not sure if we do, so. But I know we extended them already, but I'll check in on it. Okay.
Thanks, Bing.
The other issue I had is, the lady across the street here that works over in the old building, the doorman, the door person there, Bernie is her first name. Her daughter had a, hot water tank heater go out. And, she's trying to get it put in, but she can't get nobody to go up there to put it in for her. She's looking for an electrician to go up there and put it in for her, but she can't find anybody to help her. So I was like, Len, I'd like to see if we get ARPA to go up there and get it, put it in for her. Because, you know, she doesn't have any hot water, been out for a while, and the other one was leaking, so she had to shut her hot water off. She hasn't had any hot water for a while. So I was wondering if we could have somebody go up there and hook up that hot water tank. She has a hot water tank there. She just needs to have it put in. I don't know what her daughter's name is, but just contact Bernie over here across the street and talk to her and see what her daughter's name is. And she lives up here somewhere by the college somewhere.
Does it have to be a certified electrician to put it in? Or I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I can reach out to her and see what's going on. All right, Jennifer?
Okay, I wanted to do a trip report on my visit to Billings on November 13th for the State Tribal Economic Development Commission, the STED Commission. There's a couple things that I thought were interesting that I wanted to pass along to the membership that I wanted to be in the minutes. First of all, the State Tribal Tourism Office is going to redo their website about Indian country, and they will be looking for photographers and videographers from each reservation to help create videos and print materials about each reservation in Montana, and they want to hire local native photographers and videographers on each reservation. And so someone from the State Tourism Office will be coming here to visit Tribal Council and talk to us about that and get some referrals of people who might want to do that. And then there's some tourism grants open. There's a tribal tourism grant that's open until the end of this month for projects in Indian country that are shovel ready. And there's a 50% match requirement. And then there are $10,000 grants for tribal businesses that are geared towards tourism. It's a small business grant. There's no match required. And that is open until December 15th. So if somebody has an outfitting business, a guide business, or any business that is tourism related, there's a $10,000 small business grant available for that. And there was a company from Bozeman that attended that meeting, and they were looking for, they want to work with interns from Indian country, and they were just wondering how to get the word out that this internship is available. And I can give them the internship program at SKC, but not all tribal members go to SKC. So I think it would be beneficial if one of our departments, probably the education department, had listings of internships and apprenticeship programs that are available to our tribal members. So opportunities like this, don't pass them by. So we have a hub of internships and scholarship opportunities outside of the tribe. And then there was a representative from the USDA Rural Development, Rural Energy for America program. And he talked about grant money that they have to improve energy efficiency. And then he was accompanied by uh, a woman from, I have her contact information, but an agency that helps with a grant application and writing for those particular grants. So if we wanted to pursue those grants, there's free help for grant writing. And then there is a Made in Montana trade show that is in Helena every March. And the Montana Tourism Office also is offering some scholarships for Native artists who have the ability to do wholesale of whatever product they're selling, to offer them scholarships to attend that trade show and sell their work, and their hotel and all of that. Their admission would be paid for, and then their products would have exposure to, I don't know, I've never attended that, but I think thousands of people attended that. It's at the fairgrounds in Helena, March. And I think that's it.
Thanks, Jennifer. Did they just go to the state website for the grant, first couple grants? If you have the information on the other ones, it'd be good to put in the minutes. And I guess we, Carol and I didn't get to do an update on our district meeting last week. We had a decent turnout. All the updates went really well. Had a good discussion about our community funding. There'll be a basketball court in Pablo, location kind of pending a few things. Carol, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just gave an update on the skate parks and the other things that are going in Ronan, and just encouraged people to, keep an eye on the skate parks and things. And I don't think I mentioned anything about the graffiti yet, but yeah, it hadn't happened yet, so I didn't really mention anything there. And then I talked about the buildings that we are going to be building, the Deward building, the Department of Water Resources, and also the facility up in Polson that SK Gaming is preparing to finance and build. So I think that's it.
And I went by the skate park yesterday, and they are, if they're not gone today, should be by the end of the day, and it's up and going. A little muddy on around the outside, so maybe we'll put some straw. Tara, you got a land shirt on, any fun? And then the other update I have is that I attended the MDT Community Safety Action Plan meeting. They had an open house last night at St. Ignatius. I was there early. People were getting there before it actually started, and good attendance while I was there, and got to kind of talk with a good amount of people while I was there. And they have a survey that's out right now. Please encourage people to fill those out. It's not just only for urban areas, it's for residential, county roads. It's safety issues. And so pedestrian safety is obviously one of the big things. But any intersections that are dangerous, turn lanes, all the things that we harp on, this is an opportunity to really voice your opinion and have it heard. So they'll be doing another open house that's kind of pending, hopefully up in Polson or Pablo area, depending on the room available. And so look forward to that. And please encourage people to, that's been sent out a few times last week by Scott Johnson, and the QR code's on there. Do you have a quick issue, Tara, you could squeeze in?
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chair, council members. I just had, quick ones actually on page 4. One is, this is a revocable permit, by the Beehive, Permanent Cosmetics. She's been on there for about 5 years now. She still only wants to do a revocable permit. So this would just be a 1-year revocable, approved 1 year, 400 a month. She required insurance and we'd continue to keep the bond that she currently has. Just looking for approval. She's not. And remember, this is that really, really small piece in Polson. Yeah, super, super small.
She'll be open through the winter.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I do. That's basically right above Safeway Murdoch's on Olson Hill on the right. There used to be a building
The old
there.
Humphrey Law Office.
There's still a chimney stack there.
No, we got rid of that. Actually, no, I think it still might even be
I
there.
did entertain a motion for the options provided. I believe Plans is proposing option 1. Motion by Len Tooteeth for option 1. Second by Jimmy. All in favor? Seven, 4, leave Danny out of the room.
Okay, thank you. My next one is on page 5. This is another revocable permit from Crystal Matt. She does the Ombre Mountain Designs located there in Ronan across from Dairy Queen. She's been there for about 4 years now. She's still only wanting a 1-year revocable as well. She has put in a lot of work into that building, but she is trying to look for other options at the moment. So she's wanting a 1-year revocable permit. 400 a month required insurance, and we continue the bond. She does have in place where she does, in lieu of rent, if there is anything that she's put into the building that's under her expense, we do step in and take that as, payment for, rent. We'd ask to continue that as well, just because that building is pretty old and yeah, they've continued to do great stuff to it. And it stays with us when she does decide to leave. What was that? Yes. And she's done already a ton of improvements, but I think she's gonna be doing a little bit more this coming winter. So we just like to keep that as an option, just in case.
Motion by Len for option 1. Any discussion or comments? I have a question for you and maybe Tony can answer. Is that water affecting her at all?
Not at the moment. So, so are you talking about where the, like her spot right now in general? Not yet.
Okay, I just, we'll get an update from that on that later. We have a motion, need a second.
He'll answer that for you.
Second by Bing. All those in favor? It looks like we're unanimous with Tom out of the room.
Okay, and then just one more final one, and this is on page 6. This is another revocable permit. This is Dan DePoe. This is at the Tribal Tract T4752 located in Hot Springs. He's had it for a year already. He's wanting to extend for another year. He's enjoying this location. He does utilize it for storage and equipment and various wood selling and things like that. So we just continue what he's already had, which is 400 a month, required insurance, and then we just continued with the bond that he has already. So we're just looking for approval on that one.
We have a motion by Jimmy for Lance recommendation. Second by Len. All those in favor? Unanimous with Tom out of the room.
Okay. All right, that was it. All right, thanks, you guys. Have a good one.
Excuse me, Chairman. Tara, could you, I'm talking to some people, some people are calling me from Arlee.
Okay.
Later today. Could you give me a call this afternoon?
Yeah.
I'll relay some information to you.
Awesome. All right, I will.
Okay.
Thank you. Is Sandra Treadway, is that one of, are you with them or?
Yeah.
Are they? We got 2 minutes. Melinda, are you ready? We'll get you in. Morning, Hesquex.
Hesquex. So, my presentation today starts on page, 7, and I'm here to get, approval for a project-specific agreement with, Montana Department of Transportation for some sidewalks in Hot Springs that they're going to probably let out for bid approximately, fall 2025, winter 2026. They did send a map of where those are gonna go on page 11. I don't know why I can't scroll down, but there is a map of
11.
those locations for the sidewalks that they're gonna be installing. Okay.
Any questions for Melinda? No questions. I'd entertain a motion for a PSA for the sidewalks in Hot Springs. Motion by Carol, second by Bing. All those in favor? Unanimous with Tom out of the room.
All right. And I do need the chairman's signature, so should I just leave it here for him, or you can sign it? All right.
In regards to the project, Melinda, so why, the location of these sidewalks, are
Mhm.
they on city streets?
It does look like it is within the town of Hot Springs, so
Okay,
yeah. And they are gonna be like replacing some existing sidewalks that are already in place, so it looks like they're gonna probably be tearing some out and replacing some that are already there, so.
yeah, I was kind of curious why we are approving MDOT to put sidewalks on streets
Yeah.
that are
Yeah,
run by the city.
yeah, I guess we do approve all their projects that they do on their reservation though, so. Yep, I'm sure they do also have some kind of communication with Hot Springs, but because it is on the reservation, we do still approve all their projects, so. Because they are going to be still like, they do have to follow our MOU that we have with them, and then that goes along with the Indian preference stuff too, so,
Okay,
yeah.
All right, Katie Hesquex, you want to give a introduction for Catherine?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Katie McDonald here with you, the Tribal Relations Specialist. This morning, we've got Carolyn Upton here, the Forest Supervisor from Lolo National Forest. Today, we're going to be going over a quarterly meeting with Tribal Council, do some updates. Carolyn here and probably some of her supporting staff, maybe, or it might just be Carolyn today, is gonna, like I said, go over some updates, and then I'll fill in when I need to about how and when CSKT's been involved with some stuff and kind of what we've been doing for the year and what we've got projected for the next few quarters / fiscal year coming up. So, Carolyn, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Katie. Carolyn Upton, Lolo Forest Supervisor. It's just me today because we are in a little bit of a time period where our team is working on a lot of our analytical processes, building up our documents, and therefore we don't have a whole lot of formal things planned. But of course, as always, in consultation with tribes, we are always available to you, or we're working through Katie on whatever information or opportunities you would like to work with us. I did want to touch on a couple of things about our timeline and what we're doing with some of our other externals for awareness. And again, always open and receptive to however the tribal staff wants to work with us, either your resource staff, the council, cultural committees. We are available for all those opportunities. And again, primarily working through Katie to get things scheduled and bring to you the information that will be most helpful and informative to those discussions. So we this past year, we did our scoping. We did several rounds of external engagements. We've been working with tribes, the state, a lot of external groups. And so now we're working on, many of you are familiar, we're building up our draft environmental impact statement and our proposed plan. That's going to be some wintertime work. We are not going to share all of this information with the public until the fall. My staff was sort of leaning on me like, when should we do this? How about summertime? And I said, no. How about we use summertime to continue to work with folks, maybe have some field trips, do some of that work. But we're really going to focus our formal comment period. Many of you, again, are familiar with that this coming fall because we want to take the summer and, not have a lot of office paperwork kind of exercises during that time. We would like to give folks an opportunity to enjoy their summer. Again, maybe do some field trips. We are working with youth and on several projects, do some of that. And then again, we would do our formal comment period and some of that work in the fall. That is a change to our schedule a little bit from springtime to fall. I want to make sure everyone's aware of that. Let's see. And that's really my main message for right now. Another thing for awareness, we did have a very well-attended webinar like this past October to connect with folks and say, hey, we're doing our own teamwork, sort of our internal stuff right now. What is of interest to external folks, public, state, and we got a list of issues where folks feel like we need to do more sharing. What kind of analysis are you doing? What kind of science are you using? All of this. So we're working on a plan we're going to set up a series of webinars, I think probably webinars over the winter to help share, again, science and analysis and things that we're doing around some of our areas of highest interest with folks. Connectivity, some threatened and endangered species. We've got lynx and grizzly bear issues, how we're moving forward with our environmental impact statements. There's been questions about things that we can monitor and measure and all that. So we're going to have a series of that to stay connected to people. What I would offer to CSKT is if you would prefer that we do that one-on-one or do it however it would meet your needs, absolutely happy to do that. As we prepare information, we can be working with Katie to either engage with you with our other folks or bring it to you again to the appropriate staff and how that would meet your needs. The other thing that I wanted to share is I was just visiting with our staff about the memorandum of understanding that we have with the tribe, working with Katie on that. We would like to take another look at that this winter, make sure it's meeting your needs. And we have all the right people. We've had some change in staff, just making sure we're well connected. So that will be a piece of work we're doing this winter and see if we need any changes to that. With that, Katie, I would be very interested to have you add your perspectives and your thoughts on this.
Yeah, thank you, Carolyn. Just for tribal council's knowledge and a little bit of background of how utilizing my position working with Lolo National Forest in this transitional period of formalizing their documents, getting prepared for public comments and whatnot. I myself had been meeting in person with Lolo National Forest's interdisciplinary teams. I've met down at the Missoula or the Missoula office several times. One was to meet the entire team, and then another time was kind of more of like a staff to staff. And so it was a great opportunity, like, you know, most folks that I do and had working relationships in that previous position that I had here with the tribe. What evolved out of some of those IDT meetings was we were able to start connecting that staff to staff level with CSKT and Lolo National Forest, just as the Forest Service and CSKT's kind of had some position changes, folks, including myself, that have transitioned to different positions with agency and tribe. So we were able to get some folks connected here. Mostly our fires and fuels folks, our natural resources for our wildlife biology. So we're really, you know, starting to plug in a lot of that staff to staff, just like it's required in that MOU. And it is a great opportunity for us to re-review, make sure that, you know, everything is reading clear to folks that are involved in making sure that we're upholding that understanding and making sure that we can, you know, verbalize any adjustments that we may need for the future, whether it's adjusting some meeting time periods, making sure that we are hitting the quarterly staff to staffs, anything else that may work now a little bit better since we've had a full year of some new folks, you know, stepping into those roles, being part of that understanding. And so I don't want to take up too much time, Carolyn, in this next comment for the webinars, just because I feel like it's something we can do a little consultation talk. But I would like to offer the opportunity for council, if there were any interest, Carolyn and I can continue the conversation. But with this opportunity to do webinars for the public within Missoula County, this could be a unique opportunity if we had any councilmen or women interested to do kind of an introduction of themselves as a role player of tribal council, or if interested, I could do a write-up or something to provide as an educational platform for Carolyn and her staff to offer for these webinars, just so that our neighbors down south in the Missoula area, if they are interested in understanding the sciences and the backgrounds of how decisions are made, I feel like it's a great opportunity for them as well to understand Native science, Native interpretation. You know, it's a great opportunity. So again, I'll kind of hop on that more in a conversation with Carolyn at another time. But I figured since I had you guys and my job's to come up with some creative ideas, felt like since I had you, might as well bring it up. With that, I will pause now, and if council has any questions or comments right now for Carolyn or I of how we've been going on with this first fiscal year or whatnot. So I will take a pause.
Thank you, Katie. Carolyn, good to see you. I'm sorry I had to step out.
Thank you.
Brief surgeon thing I had to take care of. So, any comments for the presentation? I think you know, being inclusive and, you know, on the webinars, that's really cool. I think, you know, you can never go wrong on education going both direction. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Any other comments? Yeah, go ahead, Len.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Catherine. And thank you for putting the time here to come visit with us on these issues. You know, these are extremely important consultations with our forest, with our surrounding forests, I should say. One of the issues that I really kind of take an interest in is the plan for the National Forest to recruit tribal members to work for, Forest Service. And has there been anything different that we're doing to do that, or does the National Forest offer internships to tribal members? Just things like that. So just kind of curious if we're still doing the same status quo or if there's been anything different.
Carolyn, I'll take the first comment to this or answer. So Tony and I have been communicating on the regional level with Region 1 Forest Service to try to see if there's any additional funding that could help support another position as a tribal relations as myself, or if we could get creative and start thinking of, not necessarily titles, but getting creative of how we want to continue to utilize CSKT personnel either within the Forest Service or kind of match it to what we have done with my position as a tribal employee, but working with the Forest Service on a regional level. And so some of the folks that I had asked on that regional level had taken an attempt to help me understand the trickle-down system of funding that comes from Washington and then meets the regional needs. And then each forest, and this is maybe where Carolyn could fill in for me, is where each forest would have to allocate certain, budgets. And then when it comes to something like Good Neighbor Authority, for my position is we all could assume with January coming up and the new staff coming in, it has been a concern for myself and a few others of what technically happens with Good Neighbor Authority, as well as other grant funding mechanisms that help support many tribal liaisons, even outside of myself, for having these positions. And so that's at least the most recent update that I have is regional, yes, is very supportive of it, but what they need is a regional forest such as Lolo, Kootenai, Flathead, Bitterroot to actually take that initiative, that step forward. So that is a conversation that we are wanting to continue with Chad Benson from Kootenai National Forest, since currently they hold the original GNA to fund my position, to try to see if that's something with the new administration, if we should just go for it and try to see if we could get some more supporting staff, or one of our other surrounding forests if they would like to take a step forward. So we have sent out some formal requests to Forest to see if anybody is ready to take that initiative. So I'll let Carolyn step in and kind of fill in any of the blanks or summarize better than I did.
Thank you, Katie. Yes, I'm going to agree and support everything that Katie said. And I think what I would add is we are across multiple forests, we're looking at different ways to engage tribal youth crews. So trying to think about like all of the opportunities from like regional office, tribal coordination positions like Christine Bradbury, some of those that like all the way from that kind of expertise down through youth crews. We're trying to look at all the different opportunities. And I know this past summer and this coming summer, we have plans to work with some of those crews to do different kind of field work. I know last year we were looking at plants, different issues around native plants. It could have been some weed issues and some other things. And this coming up summer, I know we're looking for opportunities to do some reforestation inventories around some of our large fires in past recent years. So we're trying to look at that whole spectrum. And we have had different successes and we just need to keep after it. I don't know what's gonna, come in the next couple of years, but I think just sort of keeping after it, keeping the conversation going and having small successes will lead to larger successes. And if we just, again, keep our eye on that whole spectrum of opportunity and skills, then we'll continue to move forward.
Okay, well, ladies, thank you. Thank you for your response.
One more to add on to that, Len, and anybody else, any other councilmen and women, is I consistently get forwarded from the Forest Service different internship opportunities, different scholarship opportunities, and those vary in age ranges. So what I do with those inquiries of interest for these positions is based off of the resource. Let's say I get quite a few that is forestry or fuels related. Of course, there's some for wildlife biology. On a regional level, there's archaeology. And so what I do with those is I process those, I get those sent out to our resource departments and try to see if we can get any engagement. I know I've had a few conversations with Steve McDonald and some of the surrounding forests to try to support more of that scholarship opportunity, internship opportunity. Like I said, age ranges vary. So hopefully we can find something that kind of works specific to some of the creative ways that we can try to get some more staff within the Forest Service from CSKT. And so it's just hoping that here soon we can kind of find the gem in the pile and figure out which one works specifically for us and start talking to our surrounding forests and making sure that that's something that we can just absolutely go towards, whether it's grant funding. Either way, we have some opportunities for some, stretching of our legs and arms, but it's just finding something that's going to work for us. So we all anticipate that there's something out there. It just, somebody's going to see it and it's going to come our way. I know it. I feel it. So I'm excited to get more folks out there. It's very rewarding working with the Forest Service.
Any other questions? Comments? Well, we have a new paradigm ahead of us, so I don't have a crystal ball, but I would think that the more that the federal agencies engage in local groups, the tribes, local issues, the better off it'll be, at least with this administration. So I look forward to some real positive outcomes that could be with us in the Forest Service. Any other comments? Oh, thank you, Carolyn.
All right. I just want to thank Katie and the council for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you, Kate.
Carolyn.
All right. Good job, you all. And Tribal Health on Zoom. Okay. John.
Good morning. I also included David Joseph. He's the one that is doing this grant, and if there's any questions on it, I'd like to have you ask him on them. But what the resolution is for is the Montana Healthcare Foundation School based on healthcare grant, and it's for $300,000. And we're actually going into the schools or going to some of the schools with a mobile unit, and we have MOUs in place for those. And I'll turn it over to David if he has anything to add.
Yes, this is David Joseph. This is a partnership with Logan Health. The grant funding is through Montana Health Foundation. It's for a school-based healthcare. Logan Health will provide outreach to the Mission School District and the Charlotte School District for healthcare via their mobile unit. And it's a partnership which would allow CSKT, Tribal Behavioral Health, to provide behavioral health services to tribal youth. And it is basically funding a position for a behavioral health therapist to go into schools for 2 years. Not sure if you have any questions, but happy to answer.
Questions? No questions? Yeah, go ahead, Len.
So just to clarify, this grant is used to recruit a staff person or to provide services to the schools?
It's to bring in to pay for a behavioral health therapist to allow the behavioral health therapist to provide therapy for students in the school-based setting. We have MOUs with multiple schools that allow us to go into schools and provide these services. Montana Health Foundation reached out to us because Logan Health did not have any behavioral health capabilities within those two school districts, and so that's what the partnership is for.
Okay. Thank you, David. So
Sure.
is there, at this point in time, is there a possibility that we could include Two Eagle River School in that?
Yes, our plan is to roll it out to all school districts, all 7 of them throughout the reservation. This is just kind of the kickoff with it with Logan Health to get the kind of the ball rolling. We do have MOUs with Ronan, Polson, um, let's see, Ronan, Polson, Mission, and we're in the process of completing our MOU with Charlotte School District. We have the intent to roll it out to the rest of the schools on the reservation.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Martin.
I would just make the motion to approve the Tribal Health Department to apply for this grant and attach resolution.
Motion by Martin to approve the resolution for tribal health to submit the grant application. Is there a second? Second by Bing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, show of hands. Hands working up slow, Lynn. I think that's unanimous. All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
David. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay. And next we'll have, we need a break? No break. Legal.
Can we go into executive?
Okay.